Guys, Michael Coxon, we've talked to you a few times before. What an interesting race. Tell us that you were up, you were down, that last leg, it looked like you'd popped ahead of 7 for a little while, and just for a while it looked like you might be doing some good work moving into first place. In the end, they got back to you, and these guys just snuck through with some sneaky work down the shoreline.
Well, I guess that's what you get with a couple of gold medals, don't you? Some wise old owl, but it's good to see these guys really performing well this week. They're definitely looking like the dark horse, but yeah, great race. We were a little slow off the blocks, missed that first shift off the start, and we just had a terrific run down that first run. We went from, like, don't know where we were around the first month, 12th to, I think we rounded second. So that was great to try and get back on the heels of the Babinator.
He's just joining us now. We've got here we go. We got the three. Hey, Scott Babbage. Hey, Scott, thanks a lot for joining us. Scott, middleman off the boat that won today. I've got the helmsman off the boat. You were third today, weren't you? Cocker, right in the end. And Malcolm Page just round the left here. Malcolm, we haven't talked to you all season. I don't ask me why, but we keep saying on the camera cat, what a great idea to bring in a new fresh helmsman and get yourself in the middle of the boat running the show. It looked like today you were running the show in a big way, and big comeback on that last leg. We'll get to Scott in a second, the story of how he won, but just talk us through, was that a kind of a cunning plan, or did it just play out nicely for you?
Oh, well, I guess, you make the decisions with the cards you're being dealt with, and we thought we were going the right way, and even in that last little bit I thought we were going the right way as well, but 7 just got that last little shift that got him back across us. But it's just one of those days, and I guess in light fickle conditions it brings in the current influence as well, and actually yesterday and today reminded me a lot of Beijing. So it was all those old, well, I guess it was good memories because we won, but difficult conditions coming back into my foreground of my mind.
Yeah, so that was your gold medal from Beijing in the 470 class just a few years ago. Now, you've got an aspiring Olympic sailor at the back of your boat, steering your boat. Will, how's he going?
Oh, phenomenal. Today was day 3 he's ever steered an 18-foot skiff, so for us to be playing with the big boys is pretty incredible, and we're just out there to have fun. We had most races we've had a great start and sort of been in the mix at the top mark, so to do it again today is great, and obviously today's race is a keeper at last, so it's good.
Anything in the top 10, possibly a keeper. Scott, today, talking about the big boys, you boys looking big as ever. It was a tough day, wasn't it? It looked like, we said several times today, a tricky day to defend, but had to be bold at moments, had to be patient, but you worked it all out in the end.
Yeah, we were pretty good off the start. I think third around the top mark, and then we just sort of chipped away a little bit. Good boat handling at the bottom, put us in the lead, and then it's a matter of hanging on. The ferries helped us out, sort of on the third beat against Coco. They gave us a little break, and then, from there it was just sort of hanging on in that light wind.
And a couple of times on the water, Cocker got ahead of you at one point, and the kitchen maker, I think, were certainly ahead coming into the finish. It's kind of stressful, I guess, or were you kind of thinking big picture, it's a long series, or were you kind of getting a little bit angsty?
I was fine. Sammy might have been a bit stressed.
It might have been. Tell us what happened.
No, he was probably a little bit stressed. But we've just got to concentrate on keeping the boat going and let him deal with that.
How are you feeling with your rig, with the big sail, sleeve mast, etc. in this super light conditions? We don't often sail skiffs, do we, where we've got not even one person on the wire. How do you feel your boat actually performs in those conditions?
Everyone's going pretty slow. There's not a big speed difference in anyone's kit. We don't feel particularly strong yet with the big rig, but we'll take it as it comes.
Yeah, Coco, over the last 2 days, if we could count both of yesterday's races, you'd probably be winning the regatta quite happily. You were very consistent yesterday, 2 good races, competitive again today. To be honest, the lead into this regatta, you've looked probably average at best, but since it matters, you're on fire. What's going on?
I think Dave got himself a little folder he gave to me a couple of night before the JJ, and it was his little basic rules that he gives his Optimus crews, like aim at the mark, which maybe we didn't quite do that last beat so well, but look, we're just getting back to basics, just trying to sail the boat properly and flat, and whereas we've just sort of been a bit head in the boat and not sailing properly, so just sort of getting back to normal, which it's nice to be keeping these guys on their toes again.
Yeah, it certainly looked like that. I know some people have been saying, certainly we picked it up on the live stream forum conversations about, is it just about who's going to come second and third after Scott's guys on 7, but last 2 days, 7 looked vulnerable with a small V possibly. Opportunities though, Scott, you're clearly the dominant team, let's be honest. You've won the most races, you're usually the fastest, but there's not a lot of space for errors, is there?
No, definitely not, and it's really hard with 34 boats compared to the normal club fleet. You don't have much room to make an error before you're you're well deep, and then it's a battle to try and get out. So yeah, definitely the big fleet, and it's a stronger fleet with good Kiwis and some good British boats. So it's definitely a different
weather as well. Like.
Yeah,
definitely a different game.
I think you're right, Michael. The unsettled weather's a big issue. Malcolm, I'm guessing because you've had less time as a crew, you prefer more unsettled Beijing-style kind of weather. What happens if it goes fresh? How do you reckon you guys are going to hang on?
Well, I guess we're a little bit light too, which so that won't play really into our hands. But we're just going to play each day as it comes. I don't expect us to be there at the end of the week. So any moment we can be there, we're just going to take it when we can. But I'm sure across this next week we're going to get every bit of conditions. That's sailing, that's Sydney Harbour, that'll happen. So it's going to take it as it comes and do our best.
Yeah, well, good job so far. All three of you, great job. Tough day for sure on the water. You all came out of it looking extremely good. Top 10 encounter, top 3 for you three. Great job. Just briefly, the player of the day, which is our own little internal thing we have, Malcolm, which we've awarded to you guys for that last beat particularly. You won the handicap race, we'll call it that, but you were second overall. And we have a player of the day. Do we have a prize, Nick, for that? Bob, do we have a prize or not?
It's in the office.
It's in the office. It's just, well, it's the honour of the prize.